Good morning, everybody. I think we have at least one muse in the room, and I think that's the mother of Daphne. Are there any other mothers in the room? Great. Hopefully more to come, because mothers can be muses as well, if you wanted to be. So I'm here today to talk about the quest for my muse. It was a question asked by Daphne when she called me to ask if I wanted to present the very first Creative Mornings chapter in Ghent. I immediately said yes. I said yes without even thinking about the consequences. It has been a while since I've been talking in front of an audience. It's been quite a while. I've been talking in front of a camera at the hour of 7 or 6 in the morning. And I assure you, I'm tired. I don't look good at that hour, but I manage. Now, I said yes before I even considered the consequences, because Calliope, the muse of eloquence and epic poetry, called my name. And I don't know if someone of you knows who Calliope is. She is one of the 9 muses. She's the eldest daughter of Zeus. And she's quite a fearful one. She's called by Ovid, the writer, the ancient writer, she's called the chief of all muses. And probably she's the mother of all sirens as well. So be aware, if she uses her sweet voice, she might seduce you to do things you don't want to. So, who is my muse? Who or what is my muse? That was the quest. Tell me about your muse. Who is your muse? And I started thinking about that, and what the hell, do I have a muse? I recall that a lot of journalists and people always ask me, what is your big idol? And I say, oh, big idol? Why do I need a big idol? Why do I need an idol, and why does it have to be big, and why only one? So I prefer having a muse, because muses are much more dangerous, they're exciting, they end up in worlds that are full of drugs, sex, and rock and roll. In my dreams, they did. I refer to Gala. She's the wife of Dali. She's the muse of Dali and many other surrealistic painters. She was a very interesting woman who set her rules very clearly. She was very strong. I refer to Frida Kahlo. I had such an admiration for Frida Kahlo. Who knows Frida Kahlo? She's a Mexican writer. She had a very painful life because she was injured due to a bus accident. And she was the muse of her husband, Diego Rivera, who was an artist as well. And it was a very troubled relationship. But I also remember Kiki de Montparnasse. Kiki de Montparnasse, she was the muse of Man Ray, the photographer, in the roaring 20s. And she was she was a nightclub singer, she was a literary muse, and she knew what she wanted. And these were my muses. These were the women I looked up to. I wanted to be like them, be dangerous like them, and be admired like them. Because in my opinion, good girls go to heaven, but bad girls, they go everywhere. And that's what I wanted as a girl. But unfortunately, I was a good girl. I was prude, and I was too good, I was too nice, I was too shy. Even though I wanted to get up on the stage, I was too good to become a muse. Until I became a professional actress. And someone's laughing. That's the signal I was waiting for. I became a professional artist, and that means I was a trained actress. Nowadays, you don't see that as often anymore. People don't go through the conservatory or the academy to become a trained actress, but I had to, and I did. So one of the first parts I played was the part of a princess. Ta-da! And I thank God. I said, yeah, I'm proud. Lots of children, lots of girls want to be a princess. No, not me. I wanted to be a muse. But yeah, lots of girls wanted to be a princess. But I wanted to play a different kind of princess, and that series, that part, gave me the chance to become a different kind of princess. She was very brutal, she was dominant, and she was not quite as nice for her boyfriend as well. But you might love her. Now, I want to show you a fragment of the girl I played. I was in my 20s and I played a 16-year-old princess. And I must warn those of you who have sensitive ears. Enjoy.
Lief kind, met wie van deze heren wil jij trouwen?
Schijn je toch eens uit! Als je trouwt, dan word je dik en lelijk en vervelend. En dan moet je de hele dag zitten haken en zo. Bah! Je toch! En je haar valt uit en je zit te zeuren als je getrouwd bent. En dus ik trouw niet. Oh. Zeker niet met die stomme scharminkels daar. Oh. Dat trouw ik nog liever met hen.
Oh, met ons.
Dank u wel.
Okay, that's her. That's Princess Prieltje. Prieltje, Princess Prieltje. I don't know the word. It's something in the garden. You put in the garden, and you can sit under in the garden. That was my name, Princess Prieltje. Now that part changed my life completely, because this series has been filmed more than 20 years ago, and in those 20 years, this show has been broadcasted every single year. So what happens is that I meet people that are like this, like this, like this, and like this, that say, "Hi, you are," or guess what name is coming up then? Princess Prieltje. So that part, that character, kind of made me Muse-like. Because what happened was that people didn't know my name. They always referred to me as Princess Prieltje. When I wanted to introduce myself, they said, "Don't! We know who you are. You are Princess Prieltje." It took me years before I was able to pronounce my own name completely. Being able to say, "Hi, I am Ianka Fleerackers," it took me quite a while, physically, to be able to pronounce a much too long name. Fleerackers, I hate it. But what happened as well was that mothers became to name their newborn children, newborn daughters, Prieltje. Yeah, they did. They did. Yep. And yeah, there was one of the I'm in a list. I'm one of the rarest names in history in the year 2013. Yep. But at the other hand, there were a few mothers, and quite a few, who also named their newborn daughters Ianka. And that's even more weird, especially when you get this email. I must say, I pinched my cheek to check. What the hell? Is someone threatening me? What the hell is happening? What happened was that there was a mother pregnant of a daughter, and she was so full of admiration of my work and got inspired by what I'm doing and whatever I was musifying her, that she decided to call her daughter, her child, Ianka. But then she gave birth to the child, and the child died. So the family has found it necessary to let me know that Ianka was dead. What the hell do you do with that kind of news? So I sent back a note, and I sent her one of the books I have written that was about loss, about losing someone you love. It's one of the children's books illustrated books I've written. So that happened to me as well when I was kind of a muse. Now, to end with a kind of romantic note on my part of being a muse is that one day I was living with my husband. Someone rang my doorbell and I opened up the door, and there was this young violin player standing in front of me with shaky legs, shaking voice, and he said, "Ah, you're Ianka. I want to play my violin for you because I think we're soulmates." I said, "Great. Let's sit down." "No, you don't have to enter my home. Let's sit down and have a talk. How the hell do you know where I'm living? How do you know my address? You shouldn't be doing these things. I don't know you. It's not safe, you know. You're lucky I'm a good girl because bad girls would do something else with you." So these things happened. On the other hand, I was musified by the part, but on the other hand, I became a kind of a muse for contemporary artists as well. I had one of my former boyfriends who was an alcoholic curator of contemporary art. Sounds good, huh? Perfect setting to become a muse. He introduced me to other contemporary alcoholic, non-alcoholic artists, I don't know. And his employer, who was the artist Panamarenko, and he introduced me to them. And I was doubting, should I say my name or not, because probably they would cut me off and say, "We know you," so I didn't say my name. And what he said was, "Oh, you've got to pardon her, you've got to excuse her. She's used to having people known her by her name, but you guys, you don't look telly, so she doesn't know, she doesn't realize you don't know her." And I felt so embarrassed back then, because I was having diva allures. So, who or what is the muse? That was my first encounter with what was a muse. But researching the topic for today's talk, I came up with this.
We always associate the muse as a subject with women.
Lounging around in their bed, completely naked.
Painted by men. She was supposed to look away.
Very vulnerable.
On display.
He's the owner of the girl, almost dormant.
She's always been a naked woman.
Absolutely unacceptable.
It's heartbreaking. That's insane, dude.
Now is a time for a total correction.
My muse is my spirit.
You have this inherent push within you to create.
My art revolves around portraiture.
My paintings are the size of myself. Didn't Agnes Martin say that she painted to the size where her arms could reach?
My art influence mostly came from when I was a child, stemming from old black and white cartoons.
I process a lot of my life through canvases. My work becomes meditation.
Women are powerful. They're strong, they're free.
I am successful. I am empowered.
In a completely different kind of structural setup, which is not dominated by men. At Saatchi Art, over 50% of our best-selling artists are women.
I think women are incredibly powerful. I think we actually rule the world.
My name is Elizabeth Hol Chang.
My name is Javiera Estrada.
My name is Annie Terrazzo.
My name is Maria Folget.
I'm Melissa Harrington.
My name is Monica Perez, and
I'm an artist.
They refuse to be the muse, and I was wondering what is happening through these women that they do not believe in combining being the muse and being an artist themselves. And I was wondering, do I have the same problem? Is being an inspiration for others, for some people, of course, not everybody, is it that a problem of my own development? I don't mind seeing a beautiful naked body, whether it is a woman or a girl in a painting. I'm much more interested in other things. But Frida Kahlo said it herself, "I am my own muse, the subject I know best." So as an actress and as a writer and now as a storyteller, I am researching, I'm always researching people. That is what I'm interested about. I'm interested in the dynamics between people. So when I'm looking at the artist and the muse, it's not the muse herself that inspires me. It's not the artist himself that inspires me, but it's the dynamics between the two of them. How does he look at her, and how does she receives his looks or her looks, or the way he interprets her? That is what drives me. That is what storytelling is about. There is a dramatic conflict, there is something happening, and there is something changing in the relationship between two people, in this case, between the artist and its muse. Now, probably something is, I know you are all looking at these pictures now and challenging your own brain. Who the hell are these people? Who can tell who these people are? Let's have a guess. Whoops, good morning, everybody. Wake up call. That's the easiest one, come on. That's the Dali, okay. And that's an easy one as well? Yep, okay. On the right, up on the right is the woman, is Patti Smith. Yeah, you said, but I only know her when she has reached a certain age. And that couple upstairs, there is Zelda and Scott Fitzgerald. Very, very, very intriguing story about their relationship. Very dramatic. Very nice. I love it. Because something goes wrong in these relationships, not in all of them, but in the one of Fitzgerald, the Fitzgeralds, something goes wrong. And that, I think that's the thing where the Saatchi art women were talking about, is that at a certain point, the artist can suffocate the muse. And that's where the problem is. Because a muse has to be free. Your inspiration has to flow. You want to catch her, but you better not catch her, because that's the interesting thing. That's what inspires me. So it's the good thing a muse leaves you. It's a good thing that Cinderella has to leave the ball at midnight. And it's a very good thing that her carriage turns into a pumpkin again. It's a good thing. But artists don't want their muse to change because it frightens them. So, how do you live with your muse? Well, you don't. You just don't. Yeah, that's a romantic idea, that you can live with your muse. You can have her around every night and day, that she cleans up your mess, that you just open the closet and you take out your muse and use her. No, you don't. What you do is you have to admire her or him. I say her because muse is a female. You observe your muse, you long for your muse, but you stay hungry and you stay foolish. And it's that interaction, it's that tension between those two, that is what creates inspiration. If you don't, so I know the film is kind of dark, but they assured me, don't bother. They just need to hear the sound, and you know what it's all about. It's my precious. The muse is your precious, but you can't keep it in your hands. Do you know, it's kind of a metaphor. I like the metaphor, but maybe in a Friday morning it's a bit like, you know, it's the kind of thing moms tell to their children when they have their first relationship. You know, darling, having a relationship is like holding sand in your hand. If you squeeze it, the sand drops out and you lose your love. So you have to keep it open so you can keep the sand. Well, it's the same with a muse. It's the same. Don't suffocate it. So, okay. My quest for a muse was my task for today. Daphne asked me, just talk about the muse. And I said, no, I thought, no, I need a question. What is my quest for a muse? How am I looking for my muse? Because my muse is not a woman, nor a man, nor an object. My muse is a question that ignites my passion to create. Have a great Friday. Thank you.